everyone, what's up? As I promised in my previous video about Star Wars, today I'll quickly go over the latest news about the announced Harry Potter series that is set to stream on HBO MAX and will cover all 7 books with a production spanning an estimated full decade, but that doesn't take into account the possible further delays as a result of the current ongoing writer's strike and the actor's strike in Hollywood. Rowling, as the author of Harry Potter books and the creator of the Wizarding World, will serve as one of the executive producers for the show. In my opinion, Rowling absolutely needs to be a part of the creative team in order for the adaptation to be as true as it can be to her books. There's no Harry Potter without JK Rowling. Everything in that book came from her imaginative and empathetic mind, including some of the characters' core personality traits. There's no news about a possible director, but I saw some guesses about a possible involvement of Chris Columbus, who did a wonderful job as a director with the first 2 movies, that I felt personally were the most accurate to the books, especially the second movie. But the movie's accuracy or lack of is going to be another subject for another video once we get more information about the casting and the production. There were some comments posted in various media outlets by the Warner Brothers executives and by Rowling herself pertaining to what we should expect from the series. Rowling, Neil Blair and Ruth Kenley-Letts will be the executive producers of the show, while David Heyman, who produced all 8 featured films, is expected to return as an executive producer. Some interesting comments were provided by the various media outlets. Among them were JK Rowling's own comments about the series. She added the following: "Mac's commitment to preserving the integrity of my books is important to me, and I'm looking forward to being a part of this new adaptation, which will allow for a degree of depth and detail only afforded by a long-form television series." Notice that she mentioned extra depth and detail, but not accuracy or faithfulness to the source material. Another HBO executive, Casey Cloyes, added the following statement: "We are delighted to give audiences the opportunity to discover Hogwarts in a whole new way. Harry Potter is a cultural phenomenon, and it is clear that there is such an enduring love and thirst for the Wizarding World. In partnership with Warner Brothers Television and JK Rowling, this new Max original series will dive deep into each of the iconic books that fans have continued to enjoy for all of these years." We don't have more than these comments and initial statements. There's no really a lot to discuss. However, we can speculate on a few things related to the show, like the casting, production, how and what will be adapted from the books, who are the writers, will they film in relocations, will they reuse some of the sets and aesthetics of the films, will they bring back some of the old actors from the previous films, and so much more to speculate about. There are so many questions that are left unanswered at this point in time. It's going to be an interesting period of speculation when it comes to all of the finer details of this production. To me, the most important aspect as a fan of Harry Potter would be the level of accuracy and authenticity that it's going to have when compared to the books, starting with the casting. There have been some rumors that I hope are not true that the casting will be diversified by Warner Brothers to fit what they consider to be as the modern audience. If this is true, it would be a major mistake and would alienate a large portion of the fandom and even just people who watch the movies. The key to succeed here is to remain as accurate to the characters as possible, including in their established physical appearance both in the books and in the movies, whose interpretation of the characters from a visual perspective was very accurate for the most part. Based on some comments from various Harry Potter actors from the movies, there's a strong possibility that at least a few of them will make their return to the series, even if in different roles. For example, Tom Felton, who, as we all remember, played Draco Malfoy in the movies, gave his support to Rowling in interviews these past few years and was also interviewed in connection to Hogwarts Legacy in a recent video. This may be an indication that he will return to play an adult role in the series, perhaps even as Lucius Malfoy, who was the father of the character that he played in the movies. That would be a perfect casting if there was any. Another actress, Natalia Tena, who expressed her desire to return, was the one who played Tonks in the movies. She would certainly be great as a teacher, perhaps, or one of the more adult characters from the books. Now, I do know that Maggie Smith, the legendary actress who played Professor McGonagall, is 88 years old, and while it's unlikely for her return in a main role and capacity, I do hope at least for a cameo in a smaller role during the series if her health will permit it. I'm of the opinion that the key of the success to the series is the casting of the main characters, starting with the main trio of Harry, Hermione, and Ron. Then the other supporting characters like Hagrid, Snape, Dumbledore, Draco, the Weasleys, and of course the casting of the main villain, Voldemort, among many of the iconic characters. They could bring back Ralph Fiennes to play him. He's only 60 years old, and Voldemort is around 65 in the books, so he could potentially return as the main villain, and that would also be a lore-accurate casting. It's certainly something they should seriously consider, especially since he's one of the actors who stood by Rowling's side to express her opinions, whether some of the actors liked it or not. If not, however, I'm sure they'll have enough roles for him to play from the vast array of characters available from the books. So just to conclude what we do know about the series. We know that it's going to span a full decade of production without taking into account possible delays. It's going to be 1 book a season, which means 7 seasons overall and approximately 3 years of production. However, I do think there are certain books which may need to be separated into at least 2 seasons. So that's it for today. I do hope that we'll get some encouraging news soon and further detail, but it's unlikely that we'll get them before the strikes are over. Please comment down below. What do you think about this show? Do you think that it's the right decision by Warner Brothers to do a series of such scale, not that far apart from their movies? Do you think that it will succeed? And what are your expectations from this upcoming new adaptation, if you have any? So please let me know what you think, and I thank you for watching. If you can, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in my next video.